So welcome to 2017. Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome to the UTEP Leadership Program. Hope everybody had a wonderful holiday and a time away from the office and maybe a little break from the chaos of the program. Welcome back. Hopefully everybody's well rested for 2017. As we begin this new year, it's often a time of reflecting on the previous year. What were we able to accomplish? What were some of our challenges? And also, many people see it as a new chapter. Looking forward, it's a time for changes. What can I do differently? What can I do better? And since we have this UTEP leadership program, we're going to take advantage of this and see just how great we could make 2017. So this is our program. We've come through 2016 with the introduction to the program, the beginning. We did the 360 assessments, our own individual reflections, and we began working on the IDPs. So here we are in January at the beginning of our monthly leadership topics. And this month's topic is personal leadership. So in this month we'll be looking at looking inside of ourselves and how can we lead ourselves better. So here are our learning objectives for the month of January. We're going to start off with some information around effective personal leadership. We're going to share a framework and some tools on how can we best align what we want to do with what we actually end up doing. We're going to polish and finalize our vision statements that we started last year. We're going to work with our coaches and supervisors to finalize the IDPs, and we're going to establish some 2017 goals. And that's the majority. This establishing goals and focusing 2017. That's what the rest of this video is about. So let's begin with just some information on effective personal leadership. And there's four foundations, four pillars to effective personal leadership. As leaders, we have to know what our own personal values are, and that's why we started with that last year with our reflections. We also have to know vision. What is our vision? Where are we going? What is our destination? This gives us direction and gives us information for all of our decision making. And then the relationships. We're social beings. Our relationships with family, friends, peers, and colleagues are vital to our success. And of course then we have to be able to translate our intentions into actions, and this is a term we're going to talk a lot about, disciplined execution. And that's when we translate what we want to do into our achievements. So we can help shape and influence what tomorrow will be. What we have to do is have a vision of where we're going and work each and every day to get there. So the framework we're going to look at is all about how do we spend our time, how do we spend our energy and talent. We looked at the vision. That's why we started with the vision last year. We're going to polish it up this year. Where do I want to be 3 years from now? Then we break that down into what can I do this year, 2017. What am I able to do? We then set up milestones and kind of like way stations in what can I do this month? What do I want to achieve on a quarterly basis? We then break it down into what am I doing right now? And this is the essence of disciplined execution, connecting what I'm doing right now to my overall vision and making sure that what I'm doing right now is propelling me towards that vision. So welcome to 2017. Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome to the UTEP Leadership Program. Hope everybody had a wonderful holiday and a time away from the office and maybe a little break from the chaos of the program. Welcome back. Hopefully everybody's well rested for 2017. As we begin this new year, it's often a time of reflecting on the previous year. What were we able to accomplish? What were some of our challenges? And also, many people see it as a new chapter. Looking forward, it's a time for changes. What can I do differently? What can I do better? And since we have this UTEP leadership program, we're going to take advantage of this and see just how great we could make 2017. So this is our program. We've come through 2016 with the introduction to the program, the beginning. We did the 360 assessments, our own individual reflections, and we began working on the IDPs. So here we are in January at the beginning of our monthly leadership topics. And this month's topic is personal leadership. So in this month, we'll be looking at looking inside of ourselves and how can we lead ourselves better. So here are our learning objectives for the month of January. We're going to start off with some information around effective personal leadership. We're going to share a framework and some tools on how can we best align what we want to do with what we actually end up doing. We're going to polish and finalize our vision statements that we started last year. We're going to work with our coaches and supervisors to finalize the IDPs, and we're going to establish some 2017 goals. And that's the majority. This establishing goals and focusing 2017. That's what the rest of this video is about. So let's begin with just some information on effective personal leadership. And there's four foundations, four pillars to effective personal leadership. As leaders, we have to know what our own personal values are. And that's why we started with that last year with our reflections. We also have to know vision. What is our vision? Where are we going? What is our destination? This gives us direction and gives us information for all of our decision making. And then the relationships. We're social beings. Our relationships with family, friends, peers, and colleagues are vital to our success. And of course, then we have to be able to translate our intentions into actions. And this is a term we're going to talk a lot about, disciplined execution. And that's when we translate what we want to do into our achievements. So we can help shape and influence what tomorrow will be. What we have to do is have a vision of where we're going and work each and every day to get there. So the framework we're going to look at is all about how do we spend our time, how do we spend our energy and talent. We looked at the vision. That's why we started with the vision last year. We're going to polish it up this year. Where do I want to be 3 years from now? Then we break that down into what can I do this year, 2017. What am I able to do? We then set up milestones and kind of like way stations in what can I do this month? What do I want to achieve on a quarterly basis? We then break it down into what am I doing right now? And this is the essence of disciplined execution, connecting what I'm doing right now to my overall vision and making sure that what I'm doing right now is propelling me towards that vision. We'll look at the framework for success, or the 6 easy steps for leading me. Step number 1, we've already started by creating our own personal vision. This is where we want to be in 3 years' time. This is guiding us in our decisions, our actions, and informing our goals. Second step is aligning our intentions and our actions. That's making sure that we're doing exactly what we need to be doing, what we want to be doing to achieve our goals and achieving our vision. Then, of course, we need to set goals, annual goals, and figure out how we're going to measure them. Number 4 is disciplined execution, making sure we're focused and doing what's necessary to be successful, however we might define that success. Number 5 is paying attention. Are we on the right track? What is our progress? What am I learning in this journey of being successful? And then the final step, of course, is to celebrate our success. So these are the 6 easy steps for leading me. This is a framework we're going to look at step by step. And of course, we're going to start with creating our vision, and we started this in 2016. So of course, with many things, with our lives, with our work, with our projects, we start with where do we want to end up. So we've been focusing on what do we want to be doing 3 years from now in December 2019. So just a quick reflection, a vision is a framework for creating a powerful life. It's an image, a detailed image of what we want the future to be like. What do we want to create as our future reality? And it gives us meaning, it gives us focus, and it gives us a guide for many of the decisions that we face in our lives. And like we looked at before, here's some criteria for our visions, as well as some questions. Is it holistic? Is it balanced between personal and professional? Does it answer the question why? Is it the purpose of our lives? Is it the driving force? Is it leveraging? Is it building on our skills and our strengths? Is it giving us definition to just how great we want to be? How much are we going to share of ourselves with others? And of course, how great do we want to be? Is our dream big? Does it make us a little uncomfortable? And is it maybe just a little scary? So as we looked at before, our vision statement that we're going to put in our leaders journal is what we want to be in 3 years' time. What's the picture of our future reality? And of course, we looked at the 5 areas of focus: the relationships with our family, friends, colleagues, and peers. Our fitness, this could be however you want to define fitness: physical fitness, spiritual fitness, psychological fitness. It's up to you to define what you want to be 3 years from now. And of course, we need to have pleasure in our lives, so however that manifests. What do we want for our career and education? And of course, this is somewhat captured in our IDPs that we've been working on. And the 5th area of focus is, what do we want to give back, either to our children, to other nonprofits, to our churches, to our communities? How are we going to share ourselves with others? So turn to the Leaders Journal, which is for January, and in that, let's just put our vision statements. We worked on these in December 2016, so let's polish them, review them, and make them as clear as we possibly can. What do we want to be 3 years from now? So as we go through the 6 steps of the framework of leading me, there's a few questions we can keep asking ourselves. Step number 1, where do I want to be? What do I want to be in 3 years from now? Aligning our actions with our intentions. What can I do better? What can I do more of? What should I be doing less of? For setting goals with measurements, what exactly am I able to achieve this year, 2017, that will propel me towards my vision? Discipline execution is ourselves asking all the time, am I doing right now what is needed to propel me towards my goals and my visions? In this hour, today, this week, am I focused on what's needed to be accomplished? Am I paying attention to the data? Am I keeping track of my success? Am I keeping track of my progress? How am I reaching my milestones? Am I on schedule? And then the final step of celebrating our success. How am I going to reward myself for all my hard work? How am I going to give myself a prize of making the goals, achieving the milestones, and propelling myself each and every day, every week towards my vision? So we're to the second step, reflecting on how are my actions aligned with what I intend to do. So we have our vision, and then we intend to do something. We need to translate this into actions, daily actions, weekly habits, moving into monthly accomplishments, quarterly, annual results. It's not just good enough to have a vision. We have to be able to translate that vision into what we are doing right now. What are we doing today? What are we doing this morning? What are we doing to achieve our results? So, what am I doing to achieve my vision in my relationships, fitness, pleasure, career, contributions to others. Those are the 5 areas of focus. Are my intentions aligned with my actions? Are there things that are positive behaviors that now I should start doing more of? This could be exercise, this could be reading, this could be writing, this could be studying. Whatever is you're already doing, what we're already doing, propelling ourselves to a higher level of greatness. And then on the other side, we need to be asking ourselves, what am I doing that's not aligned with my vision? What am I doing that's a distraction or that I know is a bad habit? And these are things that in 2017 we can work on together. So of course, there are some obvious bad habits and distractions that we all know that we can do better with. Are we watching a lot of TV? Are we stuck on Facebook and Twitter? Are we just putting things off? Are we making excuses why we didn't meet deadlines or our quality was poor? Do we have a good diet or a bad diet? Are we exercising or sedentary? Not sleeping enough? Messiness? There's so many different aspects of our lives that we know ourselves that we could do differently, we could be better at. Are we not organized? Are we grumpy? Do we have a short temper? Do we have a negative attitude and approach? Do we express our frustration easily? Are we okay with submitting sloppy work? So these are just some bad habits and distractions just to get us thinking along those lines. So let's think to ourselves deep down. Let's be honest. What are the main obstacles that I have in front of me to achieving more greatness? What is keeping me back? What's holding me back? What are my habits that I can control, that I can improve, that are holding me back? So let's go to the Leader's Journal. And on those 5 focus areas, let's be very concrete and answer 2 questions. So in what is going to propel me towards my vision in 2017, I should do more of, and then I should do less of. So 2 questions. In those 5 focus areas, what should I be doing more? And then what should I try in 2017 to do less of? So this is what it looks like in our Leader's Journal. 2 different tables. The first one's positive behaviors. The second one are the bad habits. So the third step of the framework leading me is setting goals and identifying the measures for each of those goals. Goal setting is an intentional process of deciding what we want to do, breaking it down into smaller steps, and then achieving those goals. What we're going to do now is translate our vision into what we want to achieve in 2017. These will provide the roadmap for what we will focus our attention and our talents and our time on. But it's not just about achieving the goals, it's about the journey and the process of achieving those goals and the change that takes place in remaining focused in our actions and achieving the results that we desire. So again, the framework we looked at earlier is our vision is about a 3-year vision. And what we're talking about now is breaking that vision into annual goals. And the focus is, what are we propelling ourselves to do in 2017? So again, setting goals in the 5 focus areas of relationships, fitness, pleasure, our career and education, and then our contributions to others. When setting goals, it's ideal if they can be SMART, which is specific, which is as detailed description as possible. Measurable, how are we going to know that we've achieved success? Can we quantify it? Is it attainable? Is it within our control and our skills? Is it relevant? Does it motivate us? Is it something that is aligned with our vision and to be achieved in 2017? So it needs to be time bound. And if you want, you can always ask somebody to check your goals. Are they SMART enough? So you could ask your coach, you could ask a colleague, or feel free to reach out to me. Some goal setting tips. Make it positive. Be precise. Be as clear as possible on what you want to achieve. If we're making a change in ourselves and our habits, make them small, make them incremental. Include goals that you can control. Make sure that your goal is precise enough that you can picture it. Leverage what we do well. Here are 3 resource videos that are also in our archive library on Dropbox. The first one's a TED Talk, Why Set Goals. The other ones are just a few minutes, and each video gives just some helps and hints on goal setting and helping maximize our own unique potential. So, in 2017, let's write down our goals. In each of the 5 focus areas, what do we want to do more of and what do we want to do less of? Let's keep in mind also that the career and education part might already be included in the IDP, so no reason to duplicate that. So in our Leader's Journal, there's a section that we can capture our goals for this year. We can set our quantifiable targets. We can identify our trackers, which is another section later on in this video, and then our how do we celebrate our rewards, which is also coming up later in this video. After we've created our vision and reflected on our intentions, alignment with our actions, and after we've set our goals and established our measures for those goals, let's explore an approach called disciplined execution. And this is a systematic approach on how we can go about aligning our daily actions to achieve the goals and our vision. Disciplined execution is when we align our actions with our intentions, our goals, and our visions. It's ensuring, it's giving us a framework that allows us to be comfortable knowing that we are aligning what we're doing today with our goals for this year and our vision for the next 3 years. It allows us to put our vision into action, and it allows us to remain focused and making progress on our annual goals. Now there's some hints that we'd like to share on how we can best exhibit disciplined execution, and number 1 is plan constantly. Annual plans, monthly plans, weekly, daily schedules, keep updating our plans, and let's be consistent. We need to be successful. Successful people remain consistent, and they remain focused with a sense of urgency that propels them to pick what they want to spend their time and their energy and talents on. They need to, the successful folks focus on what's truly worthy. Successful leaders also ritualize the habits that allow them to remain focused on their goals to achieve their visions. They're also unreasonable with the expectations on their own performance and the expectations for their own achievements. We also need to learn from our failures as we go through this progress of setting goals and achieving our goals. What's working, what's not working, what needs to change. Let's use the data to keep track. We might think one thing, we might feel one thing, but the data is black and white and keeps us honest. Let's also evaluate our progress. Is this working? Is this really what I want to be spending my talents and my energy on? And absolutely, let's stay focused and never give up. And in that never give up, let's do it now. Let's not be putting things off. Let's focus on eliminating procrastination. If we do those 11 things, we'll be able to take our activities and our behaviors and translate them into the success that we want. We'll be translating our goals into activities, breaking them down into the daily habits and routines that are in line with our annual goals. So the focus here is making sure that what we are doing right now, later today, tomorrow, this week, is in line with our goals and allowing us to be more quickly achieving our personal goals. And what we need to do constantly to practice disciplined execution is keep asking ourselves, is what I'm doing right now propelling me towards my goals? As we're progressing towards achieving our goals, we need to keep track and monitor our progress and reflect on how are things going, what are we learning. The fifth step in leading me is reflection and monitoring. For our own personal success, we need to be able to have a focused approach to our actions and our behaviors so that we're able to achieve our intended results. We need to make decisions that propel us towards achieving our goals. There are three different sources of information we can use for this decision making. Our intuition, this is our gut feeling. How does it feel? What do we feel about this situation? We can use our experiences in similar situations. And an important component of this is the data that we use that shows us our progress in achieving our goals. And we all need our own information system that can serve as our personal comfort. So for our goals, we need a measurement. What are we measuring? What behavior, what activity? Be as specific as possible. And how are we measuring that? What type of tracker? And then as we move forward, how are we evaluating it? How often? Is it quarterly, monthly, weekly, or daily? And then how are we progressing as far as achieving our milestones, and are we on schedule to achieve our results? In the process, we need to keep asking ourselves, what are we learning? Have I made my goal too hard? Is it too soft? Is it too easy? Is there something I should be changing to make this goal more appropriate? So we need to have the systematic approach to look at data, to use data to help inform us to achieve our goals. So how do we measure the progress to our goals? Most successful leaders use some sort of a tracker that looks at our goals on an annual basis and then breaks them down appropriately, quarterly, monthly, weekly, and daily. Some are more appropriate to be quarterly milestones, while some are much more appropriate to be tracked at the daily basis. We also need our tracker to tell us this is what we want to do, this is what we intend to do, and these are our actual achievements. So a couple examples. If we want to save $2,000 in 2017, say that's our first goal, our annual expectation is a $2,000 in savings. We can break this down into quarterly, monthly, weekly, and then we see that day after day we need to save $5.50 or $40 a week. Then we'll be able to achieve our annual goal. And that's what's nice about this approach, is that we take these big goals and we break them down into smaller features of what we can control. So the second example is to run 500 miles. So 500 miles sounds like a lot of miles in a single year. 500 miles. But when we break that down, we see that on a weekly basis, it's 10 miles a week. So once we have these goals, and we're focused, we break them down into milestones, we use a tracker to see, are we achieving them on a daily basis, a weekly basis, a monthly basis? We can use different sorts of trackers. They can be online trackers, apps on our phones, Excel spreadsheets, paper, pencil, whatever it takes to keep track of the data on achieving our goals. The third example is, say we want to lose 30 kilos of body weight this year. 10 kilos in 2017. 10 kilos is great. So 10 kilos sounds like a lot though, but when we break it down, we see that weekly it gets to a level that's much more achievable and keeps us focused. So this is just some information that we want to make sure is on our tracker so that we can look at what we want to achieve this year in our goals, breaking it down into what can we do today to be achieving that, and using these trackers to motivate us, to keep us focused, and to keep us successful in achieving our goals. So in our Leader's Journal, in our goals section, after we set our goals and our targets, what trackers are we going to use to maintain our focus on achieving our goals. The final step in leading me is celebrating, identifying ways in which we will reward ourselves for our hard work and our achievements. It's ideal that we identify these at the beginning. We should identify these as we set our goals. We should figure out in our goal setting milestones and intended achievements. When do we want to reward ourselves? How big should the reward be? How should we be rewarding ourselves? And as we achieve these milestones and we achieve these rewards, our confidence grows. We will see that our hard work, our focus, our attention to details will be achieving our milestones and will be getting our rewards. This process of goal setting allows us to harness our talents and channel our attention so that we can achieve exactly what we want to be. So, in the Leader's Journal, as we complete our annual goal section, after the targets, we've identified our trackers. Let's identify the rewards that we intend to achieve as we make progress to our goals this year. So this is the 6 easy steps of the framework of leading me. And if we use this, we can best prepare ourselves to have a very successful 2017. So if we polish our vision statements, if we finalize our ambitious individual development plans with our coaches, and have our annual goals ready, we're ready to take advantage of this new year. So we have some resources in the program which are archived in the Dropbox. We have a video about setting goals, some tips for success and happiness, some additional articles, some TED Talks. The green ones are the ones that we'd like for you to make sure you make the time to review and to enjoy. The next 3 are if you have the time to get to them and you have the interest. At the end of January, we'll be having our leadership webinar where we'll be talking about goal setting, our IDPs, and each one of us will share 2 to 3 goals that we hope that we are committed to achieve in 2017, and we're willing to share with others in the program so that we can have the support of our peers to drive the group towards greater success this year. So this is the platform. This is the framework for leading me. I'll share a little more information of my own experience using this framework in another video, but I'd just like to encourage you, consider it, see what it can do for you in this coming year. If you have any questions about the program, please reach out to me. I'm here to help you and look forward to working with you in the coming year.